Today's video is going to be jam-packed with Airdrop Alpha, tokens that you can actually claim today, and lots of things that you need to do to make sure you qualify for the biggest airdrops that are still coming in 2024. So let's start off by talking about the Manta network. If you bridged ETH or USD to Manta to farm the Manta airdrop campaign, those tokens were unlocked today as of 2 p.m. UTC. So now you can actually bridge back out your Stone or your USDM and convert it back into ETH. Now there's a couple of ways that you can do this. The official bridge is at Manta New Paradigms page right here. You have to go to Bridge More, and then you have to click Withdraw, and that's where you'll actually be able to withdraw from Manta Pacific back to the Ethereum mainnet. Now this is going to cost you some money. You're going to have to pay transaction fees on Ethereum, and then if you want to unstake from Stone and then send it somewhere else, you're going to have to actually trigger a couple of different transactions on ETH mainnet. Could be quite expensive. And what I actually did was use Rubik Exchange, which is a DEX aggregator, to swap from Stone on Manta to ETH. You might take a small amount of slippage, but since withdrawals are actually enabled, the slippage has gone all the way down. It's pretty much back to the actual peg for ETH and Stone, and the amount that you're gonna spend to make a swap on Rubik is still gonna be a lot less than what you would spend to bridge back to ETH mainnet, unstake, and then send it somewhere else, unless you're using a massive amount of capital. In that case, probably better to actually go the bridge route. But at this point, I am more or less done with the Manta network. I'm not actually a huge fan of it, and they keep wanting you to lock up your assets for longer and longer and keep dragging it out. But I honestly think that the best part of the Manta airdrop is over. The campaign that they have on right now is only a small fraction of the total tokens that you got in the first campaign. And I feel like there's a lot better opportunities elsewhere, so I'm actually more or less done with the Manta network. And in terms of what I'm doing with the funds that I just unlocked today, well, the ETHFi token from EtherFi is absolutely running. Over the last 7 days, it's up from just over $3 to $5.18. So it's up over 70% in the last week. And this is super bullish for season 2 of the EtherFi airdrop. One of my largest airdrops ever was actually EtherFi season 1. And what they're doing right now with season 2 is actually giving people a 10x points boost for new stakers. So what I decided to do to take advantage of this 10x points boost, and also recognizing the fact that this token is running up, and I think that since season 2 of the airdrop is going to be almost as good as season 1, it's 5% versus 6% in season 1. So I still think that EtherFi is a great opportunity, and I allocated some of my Stone to this. And then the rest, I actually aped a small amount on Pendle into the YT for KelpDAO. I just feel like I want to spread out my bets a little bit more for restaking, and that should be a decent play as well. But if you don't want to go into restaking, another thing that you could do with your Stone is bridge it over to Mode, because now there's a 2x points boost if you hold the Stone on Mode, or if you deposit it into a DeFi platform on Mode like Ionic. Now that 2x points boost is actually only for the first 72 hours, after which it goes down to 1.2x. But I still think this is a reasonable thing to do with this Stone if you don't want to put it into restaking, because you're still getting the Mode L2 airdrop, and you'll probably qualify for a DeFi app on Mode, for example, if you deposit it into Ionic. So that's a solid 2-for-1 airdrop target as well. But personally, I do think that restaking is the better narrative. Anyways, let's move on now to a couple of tokens that you can claim as of today. So the Métis community testing or testnet rewards came out. You can go and check to see if you're getting an allocation here at this website. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I completely faded this, and I'm glad that I did, because as I see, people in my Discord, people on Twitter are saying that they basically didn't get any allocation, or if they did, it was very minimal. Another airdrop that you can go claim though is the GMRX token from Gaiman. And this is one that I regret fading. I also didn't participate in this because I don't like just spamming messages on Twitter, but it seems like this was a cooker. I got 0 points for this and 0 tokens, but some people have gotten tens of thousands of dollars farming this completely free airdrop, which is absolutely insane. So congrats to everybody like Joshi on Twitter that got a massive payday from this. And if you were farming this airdrop, go check and see if you can actually claim any tokens. Another claim that is available right now, not technically an airdrop, but if you deposited into the STIP program on the Radiant Capital page on Arbitrum L2, you can check to see if you're going to be able to claim some ARB tokens. So with this wallet right here, I did make a small deposit into the DLP, but since I'm pretty sure the ARB tokens are proportional to what you deposited, yeah, look, I'm getting 0.56 ARB. So Not a lot, I deposited like 20 bucks into this, but if you made a significant deposit, you can now go and claim your ARB tokens here. Okay, next up, a bit of an update on the airdrop eligibility criteria for the Zeus network. This is one of the projects that won the vote to be next up featured on the Jupiter LFG launchpad. And they confirmed today that there's 181,889 wallets that are qualifying for this airdrop as Jupiter voters. So it looks like the snapshot has already occurred. There's also points for actually interacting with the Zeus network and their bridge. And then Dappy Gang NFT holders are getting an allocation as well. And this is yet another reason to be staking Jupe tokens and voting with them. This is actually a separate bonus aside from the launchpad fees and the Jupe token rewards, because it looks like you can also actually get airdrops from projects for doing so. Okay, next up, it looks like gas fees on Linea are going to be going down this week. So if you have been holding off farming the Linea Park LXP campaign, it's gonna get a lot cheaper to transact on Linea as soon as this goes live, and airdrop farmers will be able to save a lot of money. Next up, if you stake Dimension tokens, there is a new proposal live for voting. If you're staking in an EVM wallet like MetaMask, you need to go to the Dimension portal, hit on the governance tab, and then vote on this new proposal. And if you're staking in a Kepler wallet, for example, you can actually vote directly in your wallet. Next up, the Phi protocol, which I've actually released a tutorial about on this channel, has this little mint on Base to celebrate their next chapter. It's a free mint, and in order to actually claim it, you have to just scroll down here and answer a couple of questions. So there's 5 answers and you need to fill in the blanks. And the answers are identity, express, you also actually have to put these little stickers in here. So the first one is the blue one, cred, community, red logo, and the board. And then you can just click down here and mint this for free. Okay, next up, an announcement from Backpack. The preseason 2 snapshot closes on April 6th. So if you are trading on the Backpack exchange, or if you want to try trading on the Backpack exchange, the next snapshot is going to be happening in about 10 days. Next up, there is a testnet task for Tyco. This is the BlazPay app. If you did the previous Tyco tasks, you would have already interacted with this, and they've now got an NFT and some points that you can go and collect. And then speaking of testnets, challenge 2 for the T protocol testnet is now live. So if you're trying to farm this, you can go and complete these tasks here. And really at this point, I would say that with testnets, it's obviously hit or miss. The Métis testnet did not actually yield that much, but if you minted an NFT on the Aptos testnet, you ended up getting a decent amount. And when it comes to assessing these free airdrop or testnet opportunities, you have to consider the number of people farming them, the amount of funding that the app or the protocol actually has, the allocation that they're giving to the airdrop. Is it 1% of the total supply? Is it 10% of the total supply? And also, is that free app or testnet in a hyped up space that could make the token actually valuable? Now, when it comes to the T testnet, personally, I don't think it's quite as bullish as some other free airdrops, not necessarily testnets, but Grass, for example, is, I think, going to be a cooker because it's decentralized physical infrastructure. It's got the AI narratives as well, and is also completely free to farm. Anyways, the final thing I have for you today is that Plena Road to the Token Genesis event week 3 is now live. So if you've been following along with this Galaxy campaign, there's now a new set of tasks to complete. That's it for today's video. Hopefully you found this useful as always. And if you're like me in getting rid of all your assets from Manta and moving on to new and better opportunities, congrats, you made it to the unlock, and now we finally get our assets back with no or minimal slippage. Thanks so much for watching and have a great day.